15 miles south of downtown Buffalo at Bill Stadium in Orchard Park. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the New York Jets. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here's the first carry of the game for Zach Moss. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. This defense for the Jets, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Throwing now is Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
They'll run on first down with Moss. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
On play action, Allen. Flush to his right. First down and more for Allen.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
So in Jet territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now Allen going to give it to Moss. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case, the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. And he is into the end zone for Buffalo. Touchdown. Zach Moss, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point attempt to come here. And it's 7-0 Buffalo.
Makes the score Bills 7, Jets nothing.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
2nd and 11 now. Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Fields. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And some room to roam now. And he's got this down to the 35. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
And the Jets first down.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And a short gain here down to the 22. This time able to hold on to the football, but not much room to run.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On play action, Allen. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there.
And that is a situation where in a defender's mind, you just have to pick a point on the football field and think to yourself, I'm going to sprint full out and meet him at that point. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but he had to play diagnosed perfectly there.
On first down, Moss. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Allen. Checks that one down, complete to Moss. And he's got this down to the 35.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Draw play as Allen gives it to Moss. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Second and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. Touchdown, Bills. That's caught. Dawson Knox, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense. Take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, 2-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had a perfect omelet, dropped it, so a little bit of a turnover. You went right back there and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
A little worried about your hands, though.
Yeah.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, a hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. On third down, Wilson. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
So after the INT, it's Allen rolling to his left. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Here's Allen to throw it. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. John Franklin Myers has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Second down and goal. Allen. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Allen. Touchdown! Andy Isabella, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bills will extend their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Then he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 66 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Wilson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And the Bills are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions in 3 consecutive drives, and you can see he's just got a look of disgust and bad body language, understandably, as he walks off the field.
And I think it comes from the fact that he's not sure what he sees down the field, Brandon. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts. I don't know if he just can't read defenses. I'm not sure what it is, but that's why he's frustrated. And think about the defense right now. Every time they run on the field, they've gone from hoping to intercept a pass to expecting to intercept passes. Their confidence at an all-time high right now.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Moss. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Allen. Dancing to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it, because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Allen now looks to throw. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Second and goal from inside the 5. He'll try again. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. Point after, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Allen's throw here taken in by Knox.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's a give to Moss out of the shotgun. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And meanwhile, Allen's throw here taken in by Isabella. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Here's Allen. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Leonard. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Going deep for Diggs. He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Allen going to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Allen. And he's got it. And he's brought down. Well, the Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. That is caught by Moss for a Bills touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bills would extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
For most people, the excitement of the kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Ghost Basham in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. On 2nd and 12, Allen. He'll dump that one off to Moss, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. To the air, Allen. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Moss, and this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
On 2nd and 11 now. Allen. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
On 1st down, Allen. Forced out to his left. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Moss.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. But keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Moss again. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Moss.
No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. Allen off the play fake. On the move to his left. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. Forcing the incomplete pass on 4th down and then roughing the passer.
Your offense was ready to roll, ready to get out on the field and take over. Instead, self-inflicted. Now they have to stay on the field and play.
They'll look to run with Moss.
And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
And now they'll throw with Allen. He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Stephon Diggs. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Bills add on.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 96 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Matt Milano able to get him for a loss of about 3.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good game and a first down.
Hands it off out of the gun. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
On 2nd and a couple. Wilson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Porter. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are at least able to knock the deficit down a bit. Extra point safely through. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. On play action, Allen. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Carl Lawson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. The Bills send the punter out. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. .43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. He violated a big-time no-no in throwing that pick. Rolling right, throwing across his body.
And you know that your dad taught you that in the backyard when you were a tyke.
Yep.
Don't do it. The problem, every now and then you get away with it. This time, not the case.
They'll start on the ground with Moss. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Bills on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Play action. Now it's Allen. Rolling to his right. Able to find Isabella. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 74 yards rushing now as he's done it on 22 carries.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll run the screen with Moss. Pushes him aside at the 10. And the Bills are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. You ready for a Captain Obvious comment?
Let's go. Go with it, please.
He had the 5 picks last week. He's got to be much more pleased. Just the 1 interception. They've got the lead here in the fourth.
And not only is he pleased, his entire team is. Because throwing those 5 interceptions affects everyone. That's extra work for your defense and not enough possessions for your offense. He's flipped that ratio around in this game.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On 2nd down, it's Moss again.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but looked better on that play. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Buffalo, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Jets, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now in the year. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots.